Thanks for joining us on Key Factors, where we hit 2020 off and running. And Mike, it's good to be back. We're going to be running those mini races for you later in the show if you haven't seen it before, to find out how your pony is going to go on Saturday using all the analysis that this bloke's going to provide. Welcome in, Mike. A lovely Christmas period, New Year racing. It hasn't really stopped, mate, but you're one of those tragics that just loves getting back into the new racing season.
I am a massive tragic. Didn't miss a race meeting over the summer. Really loved it. Great to be back on this show as well. Love the pressure of finding winners for you guys at home. It was a good Christmas. It wasn't a great Christmas, such a hard time to enjoy with all the bushfires around. The good news is such a big reaction, so many donations. We made a couple of ourselves, including some hay bales through Mitchell Beer and some donations to other charities as well. But this show is all about making money, Stu. There's got to be more we can do, isn't there?
Look, there is definitely more we can do, Mike. I mean, look, I don't think we're going to be able to match the Elton John and Chris Hemsworth of the world with $1 million.
No.
I'll tell you what we can do. Later in the show, when we hit the charity multi, we had $10 bets and $10 bets last year in 2019. This year, we're going to double that. So we'll have $20 bets and $20 bets in that segment. What are you going to do?
All going to a fire charity as well. Obviously, fire recovery charity. I will match that. I will double it. 10% used to go for the Hot Seat 100 to charity. I'll double it as well. 20% from the Hot Seat 100 to charity in January as well.
20%? Mate, you had a very good off-season. I want more than that, mate. Come on.
200%. We'll double it. 2020, big year. We'll double the Hot Seat 100 winnings in January, all going to the Red Cross.
That's what I like to hear, mate. And look, if we do bomb out, there's still going to be a minimum of at least $1,000 there, Mike. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to so many country cups in the next 6 months to support the regional areas. There's so much good racing on, and that's what we've got to do to support them.
Yeah, great idea, John. Just send your money online. Get out to these towns and support them over the next couple of months as well.
Yep. Well, look, our focus now is Royal Randwick, Mike. So what about the track conditions here? We had a tiny spitter of rain, but it's just not going to affect the track.
No, it's been so dry the last few weeks. Not any rain in Sydney, not much rain across New South Wales. Obviously, that's resulting in the fires. Let's have a look at the track conditions and see what we can expect on Saturday. The rail's out, and you might think that's on pace near rail's bias, but it's pretty fair. Even with the rail at 11 metres, good 3 to good 4, depending on irrigation. And like we said, we think a fair bias and a tailwind in the straight, which is important, Stu, because we've had a few headwinds lately.
You sure love talking about your wind, Mike. Let's have a look now. 5 big races. There's 9 on the card. Mate, you've had a good start to the year. How are you going to analyse, jump into the first 5?
Post-Christmas, and we're talking about wind already. Let's have a look at the races we like. Race 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, keeping it very simple. And race 4 itself is the simplest race to analyse you can imagine, Stu.
All right, well, let's start it. Race 4, it's the January Cup, 2,000 metres, and of course, so many of these left chasing Lover last start. So now we've got the weights game here to play, Mike. Maybe the win game's yours, but let's have a look at the weights game to start. Lover, $2.40. Kobe Jennings, how good was that ride? Winning his first group race, and John Sargent's patience with this horse has just been absolutely rewarded. Taikamochi there, $4.80, led and held on along the rails in the Summer Cup. We've got Surplus, $5, a little hard to read for mine, this horse. Aqua Divina, $7.50 here, and this is another one more than capable on its day, but I wanted a little more from it last start, and Mr. Garcia there, $9. Not much luck lately over the Provincial Summer Series, but Lover, Mike, 18 months it took back to get in the winner's circle, and did it do it well?
Let's have a look. Don't like Mr. Garcia, way up in class after going through a set weights event last race at Gosford, so put a line through him.
All right.
Let's have a look at the main form line, Group 3, 2,000 metres, same track, same conditions, same everything, apart, Stu, from a different wind. Lover, ridden like Winks, 3 wide, no cover on the turn, looms up, absolutely smashes him. Taikamuchi fighting on for 3rd, Surplus in 6th. Did he like the wind? Elwood in 7th. There's a 3 kilogram swing to Taikamuchi for 3 lengths, a 4 kilogram swing to Surplus, and a 4 kilogram swing to Allwood. Can Lover still win on Saturday, Stu?
How good is it watching this? Look, my opinion, yes, of course, mate, but how good was this? We were on this day, obviously.
Visually amazing, but 4 kilograms is quite a lot, Stu.
All right, well, that's where the key factors have got to try and help us get the first winner of 2020 off in style in race number 4. So let's have a look now. We start with the form, and of course, all of key factors. Keep your eyes on the top right-hand side of the screen, but Lover has got all the form here, clearly.
Yeah, the show's called key factors, but it's pretty much only 1 or 2 factors. We're factoring in weight for form, obviously, and still with the weight, Lover is just on top for us. She was wide from the 650 metre mark last start.
Okay, so she's the one they've all got to catch. Let's get into it now. Progression.
Of course, National Guard's got progression, but I don't think he's got enough.
Okay, so not much to change there. Mike, to distance at the stage of prep?
Pretty simple, this race. They're all coming from 2,000.
Sounds like we're going to rip through it. Track conditions, we're on a good track.
This is the magic one. Surplus, 2 headwinds. Don't think he liked it. Gets a tailwind on Saturday. You might think I'm mad, but I'm giving him a gold bar for conditions.
You're mad with form, mate. We all know that. What about position in run? Who does that help?
Not going to change it.
Okay, so Lover went out in front. Sir Plush levels up late there, Mike. So the favourite, $2.40, could be under a little bit of pressure here. You've mentioned wind a couple of times. Not much action there in the key factors. So let's have a look now as we bring the ratings in and, of course, all the form analysis to find a winner in the first, Mike. And you've mentioned wind about, I reckon, 5 times now, mate. You are absolutely kidding. What a way to start 2020. It's a wind factor.
It is a little bit different, isn't it? A bit bizarre. Lover is going to be so hard to beat, but I just think Sir Plush hasn't enjoyed the last 2 starts. A tailwind 2,000 metres will definitely help him. Taikamochi's so tough, hard to beat, but it's between those top 2. Lover the one to beat, but Sir Plush, I'll say it again, with the tailwind, could just get past it. All
right, look for those windy conditions on Saturday. But Lover, the best bet for us from Sir Plush in race number 4. Let's have a look now at the Randwick handicap. It is race number 5 over the 1,500 metres, a benchmark 78 for the boys. And look, only a small field 10 here, Mike. This could be a pretty exciting race. And we've got Sondelon, well back Thursday, free striding horse. But what about this mix of form? 3, 11, 1, 9 in the form guide. Pretty short there for a horse that can mix the form. Napoleon Solo, well, there's another one, $3.80. Another one that can mix the form. As I said, we've got White Boots there, $6. Rock solid in the money, 17 of 24 starts. Got to love that. Tenero, $8, running on late, but it's had its chances as well. Cuban Royale, some money here, 15s into the $8.50. Will Brock let him roll along. We've got Savvy Ken there, $9 for Claire Cunningham. And Nick O'Shea, $10. Winner of only 4 from 30, Mike. But this is a really nice, exciting race here with a few question marks potentially.
I like this race. I'm betting in this race. Okay. I love the name Cuban Royal. So let's have a look at its last start and see how good it was. Actually, 2 starts ago with Brock Ryan on. He's on Saturday as well.
Yep.
Handlebars down, spurs on, flying along at a fast tempo. Only gets run down the last few strides by Occupy. Occupy's now progressed to be rated 78. Right. And was only just beaten this day. Cuban Royal with the claim for Brock Ryan. Starts off a mark of 67 on Saturday. It's very low for a good horse.
All right, so are we saying a nice, aggressive ride could just be the tactics again on Saturday?
Yeah, with all the good jockeys up in the Gold Coast. Well, these are great jockeys as well. Brock Ryan's a progressive young rider. Yep. He can go forward. It suits his style. And this horse will be very, very hard to run down. Just run down by a pretty good horse there.
Yeah, just run down there. Let's have a look at another, well, led this day, Man of Peace. We're going back to Maruya. And, of course, all good luck to the Jockey Club down there in the aftermath of all the stuff that's gone on with the fires. But, Mike, Damon Butler here this day, an apprentice. 4th up here. So what are we going to expect here? Another one that could go to the lead. So we're saying there could be a pace in the race.
Yeah, I think so. It's going to be tough. It's going to be on pace. It had bar plates on. 1st up, 2nd up, 3rd up. Bar plates came off 4th up at Maruya. And it drifted from 13 to 20 bucks, but it's still got the job done. It goes down an amazing 22 points in the ratings from country to city grade. It's way down in the weights, obviously. It's got barrier 1. It's going to be right on pace. It's very, very hard to beat, and it opened at 51 bucks, and I missed it.
I know you love value, and it's not like you to miss out, especially in the new year, Mike. Let's get this race started. It is race number 5, the form and all the key factors. A couple of favourites here that we haven't lit up for form.
Mixing it up, the apprentice claim makes a lot of difference. Cuban Royale with form around Occupy, light him up.
Okay, so it's Cuban Royale, the one they all have to catch. As always, Mike, we start with progression.
Yeah, Napoleon Solo has been a bit up and down this preparation. He can bounce back this start. Savvy can only go up. 1st up, heavily back, did nothing at Canterbury.
All right, this race is looking pretty juicy. Favourites not in the mix. What about the distance?
Yeah, they might go hard in the lead. It should suit Napoleon Solo. 16 back to 1,500 metres for Cuban Royal is a tick for him.
Cuban Royal absolutely streets ahead here. And what about the track conditions?
All good for all of them.
All right, all good there. It's the one they have to catch. Position in run, 1,500. Who gets that?
Yeah, the leaders, Sondelon and Cuban Royal, roll along. The ones 3rd, 4th, just behind them could get a cushy run. White Boots and Man of Peace draw very well on Saturday.
All right, so some big prices here. Hit the front in our own key factors race here, Mike, and you've mentioned a few that we're going to have to look at for a potential bet. So let's get all the ratings and, of course, the odds in now for a bet in race number 5, Royal Randwick this weekend. And look, so many ticks there, Mike. Apprentice claims tick, the right distance tick, getting in the right positions. They're the ones we got on top.
Yeah, we've got 3 apprentices on top. We hope the good jockeys are up north and the apprentices can get the win. Cuban Royal, Brock Ryan, let the handlebars down, go forward and run them into the ground. Off that mark, I think on Saturday is going to be so hard to run down. A Man of Peace with CJ Graham on board. He can track up behind the leader. Both very, very hard to beat each way at big odds.
All right, let's look for some good rides there on Saturday in race number 5 for the apprentices with Cuban Royale on top with the value Man of Peace. Stick around after the break. We've got 3 more big races at Royal Randwick coming your way. Welcome back to Key Factors for season 2020. We've had a jump start at 2 races for Royal Randwick this weekend. Let's get stuck into another 3. The next one we are going to look at is race number 6, and it's over the mile. Benchmark 70 for the 3 and 4-year-olds under handicap conditions, and a couple of key form lines coming into this race with Rocker Clock, well-back favourite John O'Shea trying his best to correct her barrier issues. Tommy Marquand gets the ride here. We've got Academy, the Newnham Stale, absolutely flying, $4.60 in behind. Big Boy Roy on the same line there. 7 starts its preparation, same form lines as Rocker. In behind, Mr. Dependable, of course. We've got Cinque Day there, $5, backing up from last week. I'm still scratching my head on that one, Mike. Frenzied, $8.50. The Bong Bong Cup winner comes to Randwick. You don't say that very often. And, of course, Showminder there at $11, trying very hard in his races. But Rocker Clock, a lot of the tipsters out there are liking a horse like this. How much upside's it got?
Let's have a look at her. Frenzied, Bong Bong form. Don't like it. Let's pen that one. Let's have a look at 2 other replays. Rocker Clock, Big Boy Roy on pace. Look, Rocker Clock's progressive, but she paraded well this day.
Yep.
She jumped well this day. She got the right run, and she only just got past Big Boy Roy. The time was good. Mr. Dependable, obviously a very progressive horse. Just not sure how to line it up, Stu.
Okay, and look, and if it did get out a little bit earlier, would that have made any difference?
I don't think so, because a horse in front is following the winner, obviously, so it's got a great trail into the race, and it is a risk still on Saturday that could miss the start. 2 starts ago, missed the start hopelessly. Still a risk, I think, for this horse.
Yeah, right. Really interesting to see about John O'Shea, to see what he can do with this horse to make it jump a little bit
better.
Not a bad run. Well, let's have a look now at another horse, Mike. One I said off the top is a nice, tough horse, and this is Showminder. Going forward this day, and we've got War Baron, who was first up, so probably a lot more to give from this horse, Mike. What do we like out of this race?
I didn't like this form when I first looked at it, but I started to look deep and I started to tie things in. The last replay we looked at, Plenty was in the race, and Showminder's got plenty form, but weights and measures. It actually ties right into Rocker Clock at the weights on Saturday. Once again, you look at this race, you think it's poor form because the Promise next start comes out and runs poorly. Right. But Destiny's Heroes in the blue running on just late. That came on out to beat Cinque Day next start. So the form ties in. And one thing you know about Showminder, it's a very, very reliable horse.
Yeah, we know that horse is going to try, and I know I can rely on you doing all that form and getting into the nitty-gritty. That's what we're up to now, the form and the key factors for race number 6. Let's get this race underway.
If there's a stone that hasn't been turned over, I am not happy. Stu, you know me, Rocker Clock, Big Boy Roy, Showminder ties in, light all 3 up.
All right, there we go. So 3 with the gold. As we hit the key factors, progression, who's got it?
Yeah, the big question, how much progression do we give Rocker Clock? Like we said, she paraded so well, she jumped so well. Maybe she can improve a little bit. Academy can definitely improve second up. And War Baron second up as well.
Okay, so progression, a pretty big play here. What about the distance?
Up to 16. Academy, never been there before, could love it. Dark Confidence should like it too. Okay,
so Rocker Clock just there, but there's 3 right in behind, Mike. Does track conditions help anyone?
We're not playing this much. Nope.
All right, position in run. Can they catch up here?
One thing about Cinque Day, even though the form's only okay, he does draw well, doesn't he, Stu?
It does. Look, but that's a bit closer than I thought, Mike. We've got a $3 favourite and well backed in Rocker Clock, but a host lining up there behind is pretty much 4 there within 1 length of Rocker Clock. So interesting to see where we're going to go for a bet here. Let's have a look now. All the ratings. It is race number 6, Royal Randwick this weekend. And Mike, progression, it was the big play there for Rocker Clock, but how much in the tank has this horse got left?
We could have given it more. Maybe you want to give it more at home. She will be tough to beat. I originally wanted to go Rocker Clock, Big Boy Roy in this race. But after having a little bit of a look, Showminder, War Baron, both tying in, both very close, and the odds are drifting. They're just too good to refuse to. So Showminder's the best bet, War Baron the value bet, but it's going to be a very, very close race. Those top 5, first 4s and trifectas for sure. Yeah,
not much between them all there, but it is Showminder there for us at some good value with War Baron, the value bet, to come over the top of the favourite in that race. Let's have a look now. Race number 7. It is 1,500 metres, benchmark 78 for the fillies and mares, and all of these going forward, looking to be in the market here, Mike, including Statuesquely, who has absolutely been smashed Thursday afternoon. $3.40 into $2.80. The on-pace grinder, tending to find a few better of late, though. Asherani, $5.50. J-Mac producing an absolute peach last start. Samantha Clinton on Saturday. Helga, $6.50. Chris Williams also in great form. You can bet on him with confidence. Pin-up miss, smashed in the betting last start. We've got Digger back on. Pumpkin Pie, $9. Not one of Bossy's better rides last week there at Randwick. And, of course, Celeste second up here, Mike. But, look, like I say, a few of these going forward looking to be the main chances.
What was Boss thinking last start? He thought he was on winks. He came out with 600, 700 metres to go. Let's have a look. You can judge for yourself. Pumpkin Pie, 3 wide, no cover for absolutely no reason. It was in the perfect spot, over racing. and drops out. Forgive that run completely. Asharani, you know I'm a sucker for a good-looking horse stew. This mare is bigger, she is stronger, she probably wasn't 100% fit and she still won. A really, really progressive mare, and I want to keep following her into a preparation.
All right, look out. All right, Mike, okay, so that's coming home. Down the outside there, Pumpkin Pie, no good going backwards here. A lot between them in this. Can that table turn around?
Well, yeah, they got similar form from last preparation. There was a race at Scone where they both finished alongside each other, so I think they'll both go okay. But Asharani is definitely the one with more progression out of those two horses.
All right, okay, let's have a look now at another race. It's Group 3. This is the Belle of the Turf at Gosford. And, of course, statuesquely on pace this day, Mike, and just about holds on. But as it can often do, just finds one better.
Always does, doesn't it? Group 3 by name, not by nature, this race. Tory Joy, the favourite, knocked up and did absolutely nothing, didn't run its race. Aqua Divina maybe didn't travel well to Gosford because she was only poor back in the field, which leaves a bunch of Wednesday benchmark gallopers. I know she was tough. I know she was honest. But, gee, she's short for a horse that hardly ever wins, Stu.
Yeah, well, look, that's what the punters have got to figure out on Saturday, right? It has been well back, so we'll see where that money's coming from.
Run second or third for sure, I reckon.
All right, so it might be one we're betting around. Let's have a look now to get this race started, Mike, to see if that's where the analysis is headed. Who's got all the form as we hit race number 7?
Yeah, Asher only comes off a nice win. Light her up, but it's a mare's race. It's going to be close.
There is never too much between them, is it? And that's pretty much an easy scenario of why. Does progression help?
Yeah, Waterhouse Bot gallopers usually fit early in their preparation, so I don't think statuesquely can improve. Asharani in the yard looked like she had more improvement. Helga definitely has improvement second up based on her yard first up.
Okay, so plenty of gold across the page, but absolutely none for the favourite there, statuesquely. What about the distance?
Yeah, Elusive Nature flying. They had a crack at the Group 3 last start up to 1,600 metres, but just too far. 1,500 metres better for her.
Okay, Elusive Nature with the gold, but Asharani, the one they still have to catch. What about the good track?
It's been dry, and we've been racing at Randwick for months.
All right, position and run. Who's this going to help for the mares?
Not the roughies. All the favourites drawn quite well. Voila, Elusive Nature, Brasilica, Judge Judy. They have very tricky draws.
Okay, so the mares race, and not surprising here. What's that? 5 within 2 lengths there of Asharani. We said it was going to be close. That's exactly what the key factors have pretty much said, Mike. And, well, that horse won last start, so let's see if it's got the upside, as we say. Let's have a look now. Time for a bet. Sounds like you're against the favourite here, Mike, but Asharani, she's the one with progression.
Yeah, statuesquely. First fours, trifectas. Definitely the horses I like are the top 3. The horses I want to bet on are the ones with progression. Asharani, third or fourth up in her preparation. Helga, second up. They're both going to be hard to beat, and they're the 2 horses to play for sure, with a bit of cover on Pumpkin Pie as well.
All right, Pumpkin Pie there potentially as well, mate. So it's Asharani for us, best bet, and of course Helga is the value in the race. Let's have a look now, Mike, at race number, where are we up to? Race number 8. It's a handicap over the 1,400 for the day. Benchmark 88 to finish things off for us, and it's the Bob's Gold bonus up for grabs here. All eligible apart from Faistos in the race, and that just happens to be the favourite. $3.10 for a horse. It's pretty much had its chances this prep, so pretty short here for Faistos. Sharaterra, this horse does not know how to run a bad race, Mike. CJ picks up a great ride here, goes forward under 50 kilos, thank you. Strome, $5.50, should run well there. Gets the inside though, so we'll see. We've got Tory Joy. Gee, we just saw a replay of that. That is very hard to bet on after last start. And of course, Insensata. Well, the question's out here, Mike. Might be on its way to Melbourne, but this looks a very winnable race for this horse if it turns up.
Yeah, most of these horses can win this race, I think. But why is Faistos favourite? Well, not anymore. Well, Sharaterra's coming in. And I think it'll be a strong favourite soon. Let's have a look why and look at the last replay, or 2 starts ago for these horses. And they race each other. Faistos getting absolutely every chance in the 2-wide line with cover. Sharaterra 4 wide, no cover the whole way, and only finishes just behind him. He gets a 3.5 kilogram swing on Saturday thanks to CJ Graham's claim. I think he finishes 2, maybe 3 lengths in front of Faistos on Saturday.
Well, how good is this? You can go back just a couple of starts and see these 2 favourites absolutely against each other. But, Mike, you've made a pretty good point here. And look, the winner here, Something Fast, they were nowhere near it, but you know, Sharaterra here looks good.
Yeah, how about Sharaterra form? Something Fast 2 starts ago. Leviathan last start. Discharged a few starts ago. It's run into some very, very good horses. Doesn't have a great winning record.
True.
But still very hard to beat.
Okay, let's have a look at another horse now. And we do warn you, this horse could end up in Melbourne. So have a look to see for any news here. But we're talking about Insensata, Mike. And look, this is obviously second up to 1,400 metres. And this was a very, very sneaky run you found here.
Jason Coyle, what are you doing going to Melbourne? It's a harder race. I know you want some black type for your mare, but it was just so well set up on Saturday.
Yeah.
She's a big, strong mare. She was very unlucky behind Madame Rouge this day. And the big key factor for this horse is the tailwind means the swoopers can come into her on a Saturday afternoon. So if she does stay around in Sydney, there's still a small chance Should be very, very hard to hold out. So unlucky there, Stu.
Back talking about wind and telling trainers where to
it's a
place
big
their
thing,
horses.
it's a big thing.
I mean, really, Mike, 2020, it started
talking through my
well.
wallet.
Let's try and get these winners home. Key factors time for race number 8, Royal Randwick this weekend. Let's get this race started. Who's lighting up the form for us, Mike?
When I start talking about wind, your eyes gloss over. I'm not surprised. Shara at the weights just wins.
All right, there we go. I've already said it. We need to stop the race. No, let's keep the key factors going, progression.
Yeah, ones with upside. Insensata can improve third up, and Onslaught can only go up. It was a terrible run last start.
Okay, Shara and Insensata on top here, Mike. What about the distance?
Big key factor. Face Toss, I reckon, wants a mile or further to deepen its preparation. Tory Joy back to 14's a risk, and Valentino Rossa first up back to 14, a risk for him as well.
Okay, so more gold there for Shara and Insensata. They are the ones right out in front. The good track.
It's still dry. It's still Randwick.
All right, and of course, position in run.
Not a key factor in this race.
All right, I like this. We've got 2 key top raters here, Mike. Shara, one of the favourites, obviously, and Insensata with the question marks on Melbourne, as we've obviously said. And, well, pretty much, Mike, you're saying if that horse turns up, it goes all right, Insensata, but if not, we are all our chips in on Shara. Let's have a look now to see if we can confirm that with all our bets, Mike. It's late in the day. The punters want to see a victory late in the day, Mike, but we're saying hard track tick, 1400 tick, and, of course, Strome, big tick there at 1,400 metres as well.
Yeah, they all like the 1,400 metres. I need to let go of Insensata, don't I, Stu, because she's on the float just about in a couple of hours, which leaves a moral in the race. CJ Graham going forward, sitting outside the lead, giving a kick 350 metres out and winning by 2 or 3 lengths. He's a moral, but Insensata can win if he turns up. All
right, Shara there, so some good confidence to end the day. There's a look at 5 big races, Royal Randwick this weekend, but stick around after the break. $100 hot seat, putting Mike under pressure, and of course our charity multi. Welcome back to Key Factors, presented by the raceguide.com.au. We've had a look at 5 big races, Royal Randwick to kickstart the 2020 program, but many, many more winners, Mike. That's only 5. I know you've been delving into the card since early on Wednesday when acceptances came out, mate. So I want some more wins. What are we going to do?
Many more winners, but not many big prices. I apologise in advance. Let's have a look at the 9 tips across the card. Splintex, she's got the best 3-year-old form around, doesn't he? Back to benchmark grade. Alternative Facts. You had a big go in her last start and she came 4th, Stu. She'll give you your money back again. Special reward. The rails draw so important for him. Lava 240. We talked about Cuban Royal, Showminder, the best value on the card. Asherani's progressive. Shara is so well weighted. And Mr. Dependable. The time was good last start. We think he just wins at $1.80.
Mate, nothing wrong with a short price winner. Plenty of favourites in there, Mike, but I know you are all about value, and that's where you tend to find it in the $100 hot seat, mate. So we're putting you under pressure here. $100 for punters heading out there to Randwick on Saturday. How are they going to play it? Is it just favourites, or have we found some value there for them?
Yeah, I'm interested in most of the races on Saturday, but I'm only going to bet big in a couple of them. So I've got to show some discipline. Let's see if I can show that discipline. Let's have a look at the hot seat 100. And of course, we are doubling all the winnings for the Red Cross Fire Support Appeal. So let's get them home. $20 Cuban Royal, big odds 850. Double the odds, Man of Peace. Box seat, CJ Graham, kick him home up the inside. Showminder and War Baron, just in case of big odds. And the moral of the day, Shara at 320. Insensata probably going south. So maybe a few bucks at Flemington as well.
Okay, I like it, and I've enjoyed this because I've got a few of those in my charity bets too, Mike. And of course, we're upping this to $20 on each of these bets, and of course, we're doing it for all the fire services. Let's have a look now. Let's get it home, Mike. 2020 charity bet. Right, we're kicking it off. I'm starting with a multi. We've got Man of Peace to place $4.20. Showminder, another one on pace, $3. Shara, you've just declared that bet of the day, and we know this horse loves to run a place. So having that at $1.40, CJ into Chris Williams into CJ. This is going to be a great day for the apprentices on Saturday. So $20 there at $17.60. And well, let's go to the early race. Race number 4, Quinella, Lava. I mean, this horse is just class and it just wins. And you've talked about the wind all show, mate. So I'm going to have the favourite with the wind, and hopefully they've got the Spinnakers on out wide later on.
Sir Plush will love it. 30 k's an hour. Jason Coyle, Insensata would have loved it as well, but I'll give up on that one. And CJ Graham, we're putting a lot of pressure on her on Saturday. She's got some great rides. She could win the Jockey Challenge as well. All
right, yeah, of course, another option there to look at on Saturday. But head to the raceguide.com.au for all your feature profiling, all the websites up and running, Mike, with the feature form guides. And look, see you out there on Saturday, but good luck to all the punters and, of course, all the fireys. Good luck again this weekend. We are all thinking of you in our hearts.
Good luck and good punting.